We are a really strong team, and the main goal for us is to communicate well and just to enjoy the tournament and play our best game.
We have a good team play, we have a good communication, and everyone is a really good aimer. We have a lot of individual skill in our team, so that's our strength.
Every opponent on this tournament is very dangerous, and of course ENCE is something that no one even expected before the tournament, and that's the main reason, because in every tournament there is dark horse and you never know what they will do, how they will perform, and their main strength is teamwork and team play.
Navi, why they're strong? They have a lot of experience from tournaments like this, and they have the best player in the world, Simple, and electronic is also insane. We are all good players, and they have been together for so long, so we need to be careful. We are looking forward to play it in the stage again.
I'm really looking forward to play again, because the crowd is cheering for us so much, and I hope they will cheer even more.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Both teams that step onto the semi-final stage next have been doubted, and every step of their way towards the trophy, they have managed to dash that doubt away. It has been an incredible run from both Navi and ENCE. Navi came into this tournament suggesting that their team was dissolving, that they were losing hope, and yet here we stand with one of the strongest looks from Navi in their quarterfinal versus phase. And let's not forget ENCE, who managed to best a team many thought would be stepping onto the grand final stage. This is a semi-final, and I'm sure it's going to deliver. I'm joined by Sponge and Sean Gares. I'm your host Machine. Let's get into this one. Navi, I mean, we've heard them talk a lot of talk, and they have been walking that walk, Sean. Now, my question is, have we seen them at their best? We saw that win versus FaZe Clan. Is there more to come?
I'm actually really impressed. I think we have seen them at their best, and that's shocking for me after what I thought coming into this event. Right? We all read that Zeus interview, the inter-team turmoil. I thought we were going to see a very lackluster Navi, but they look polished, and their map pool's deep.
Sure, yeah, I think from a team perspective, they look a lot better. And the reason I don't think we've actually seen Navi at their best is because they won a series over FaZe Clan, you know, a top-tier team, with Simple actually being the bottom fragger for the entire squad. Now, that, you know, if you can get more out of the whole team and Simple bottoms frags, sure. But if Simple plays even just 0.5% better than that and they still play this fantastically as a team, they're a much scarier beast than what I think we saw in that first quarterfinal.
But we are hearing things in interviews that we've never heard before from Navi, that it's team-based now, that Simple's going to be, even he himself has talked about it, like, I'm going to be more passive, I'm going to be supporting for the team. Perhaps the scoreboard reflects that switch, but either way, success has been found, and we're going to focus first on Navi.
Since Electronic stepped in our team, we managed to get semi-finals at the first major with Electronic. So the next major get to the finals. So we're getting better and better from major to major. So I believe this major, I have no expectation, to be honest. It is like it is. Well, it means a lot of me, of course, because I am the one who was created the name, actually. So that was my idea. When we made the team from the Ukraine, and nobody knew that the team from our region can beat the top teams. So we made it. Of course, it will be always in my memory. I mean, the year 2010. And of course, Navi clan tag, it means a lot for me because, like you said before, it's a big name in CS, and it always gonna be the big name. Well, and I'm proud of this. It's a long story, actually. It was for the first time. It wasn't like the company. It wasn't like a clan tag. It was just 5 or 6 people for first 2 years, for example, from 2010 to 2012, and only then our manager started to create like company around of these 5 or 6 people. By the years, it's getting like a big name in CS. Everyone loves Navi. Everyone knew that that is the best CIS team ever played. There is the best players, so it means a lot for everyone. It's a dream to play for Navi, for every young CIS player.
Edward, self-aware of just how much of a dynasty Na'Vi has formed for their region in the world of Counter-Strike. It always starts small, and I love those kind of humble beginnings of esports orgs and tournament circuits, and every single player who starts in their bedroom and ends up in a semi-final $1 million tournament.
You want a fun fact about the team name? It started as Na'Vi, and what popular movie came out in 2010? It was Avatar, where the blue creatures were called the Na'Vi. No joke. They then did a poll, and that's where it was voted by, it was thrown in different suggestions, and the name Natus Vincere came from that. That was a public voted in thing.
Wow,
Someone from HLTV.org can confirm this.
So James Cameron basically forced them to get some Latin involved.
I don't know how Natus Vincere came from it, but that's where they got the original name Na'Vi from.
Oh, that's where it was.
So it was Na'Vi first, and then they did a vote. What should Na'Vi stand for? What should it mean? Yeah.
I mean, he is telling the truth, though. I specifically remember 1.6 Zero Gravity traveling to all those events with him, and then obviously they created actually a company out of the whole thing.
Yeah, and now, of course, a jersey laden with sponsors and plenty of fragging capacity on that roster. Take a look down that list. Flamey, Simple, Electronic. And what's standing out to me here, fellas, is just how close they are, Chad. Every single member, not too far. Zeus at the moment, a conversation in his own right.
Yeah, and he's been having a lot of impact. And I think, this team as a whole, the fact that the frags are closer on the scoreboard does attest to that point you're making earlier about it being more team-based Counter-Strike. Something interesting to me was what Ariel said in that little piece that we had about them being a very long-standing roster, Na'Vi that is. ENCE actually are the third longest-standing roster we had in the quarterfinals. They came together on the 4th of April in 2018, and as these guys have been progressing and going along as a team, they've been taking every step they've needed to, right? Something that I just want to clear up for everybody, though. We have this whole underdog story around ENCE. The problem here is, sure, everybody wants to support an underdog because they, give hope to everybody that anything's possible. They're not the traditional underdog by any means. These guys have taken the right steps. Every single way that they've approached Counter-Strike in the game as a team and organization is what has made these guys such a fundamentally sound unit. This isn't a team that we're looking at who have just appeared out of nowhere. They didn't just pick up keyboards last week. They've been doing this for the better part of a year now, and that's why we're seeing them in such good form.
And they've had a lot of stepping stones along the way, right? We saw them win Star Series last event, actually, where they beat a lot of Tier 2 teams coming into this major. Obviously, more stepping stones. They struggled to get out of the Legend stage. They finally did it. And now we see them in the semifinals. So this team has progressed, and it has been a tremendous incline over the last year.
Their run, they've played 4 best-of-3s back to back to back to back to back. They've dropped 1 map.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is against Big, G2, a Vanguard, and of course the biggest one. You can see it happening right here versus Liquid, and look at that scoreline. Watch that T side just crawl closer and closer.
This is 8 maps straight, 8 wins straight to get to this point. They've had to play 33 maps from the open qualifiers to this point. They were the winners of the European minor, and they've just continued to, look, they've had to face adversity, they've had to face the big stage, they've had to do all these things that they've never done before, and that's what's so impressive about this. But here's the problem. You come into this game as ENCE, the only big team that you've ever beaten on a stage is Liquid, who performed at, I would probably say, 60%. So can ENCE beat Na'Vi? Yes, but will they? I don't think so. It's difficult to say that they can beat another big dog.
I do have to say, I think their secret weapon is Alu. I think that man is doing a lot for that team. In-game, of course. I mean, some of that CT Inferno warping was very fun to watch, but I think out of game as well.
I couldn't agree more, actually. Alu's had a fantastic event. Honestly, X7 has impressed me the most, though. He's come up time and time again in these solo site situations, especially B-bomb site yesterday against Liquid. But this is going to be exciting best of 3 because I think both these teams have identical map pools.
Yeah. And the maps are where I want to take this conversation. Frankie started this conversation at the start of the show. Neither of them play Cash. Surely you can just both forget about it, float it, and start banning some targets.
Ironically, Alex, Zeus said in a recent interview that they play Cash now.
Oh, they do?
So if ENCE floats Cash and Na'Vi does not pick Cash against a team that permabans it, I can't believe another word that comes out of this man's mouth.
To be fair, Zeus has been weaving some sandbag meta gameplay. Okay, so bye-bye Overpass. And floated by ENCE.
And who would have thought that with the sandbagging from Zeus and Na'Vi in the lead up to this, that once again we have been spun and sent an absolute...
We play Cash now.
Okay, well here's the problem. I'm surprised with ENCE actually banning Overpass because they said that they consider it one of their strongest maps.
Yes, they do.
But the fact they get trained, that's very good signs for them. That is the map that, at least in my opinion, they look the most comfortable.
I do think that's Na'Vi's best map though, but this is exactly how ENCE approached the best of 3 against Liquid. They just pick into what they're strong at, and I can respect that. I mean, even as the underdog, not having punish picks.
So it was given to ENCE, Overpass. Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
We're missing an Inferno
Missing
somewhere
an
there.
I think Inferno should be that last ban.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or-
that would make
yeah.
sense. Let's go for that. So it was Inferno or Mirage, and they've chosen to take it to Mirage. Does that
Yeah.
surprise anyone
They've
here?
picked Mirage. But actually,
Yeah,
both
not
these
at all.
teams. But
I
both
think
these teams picked a lot of
Their
Mirage.
best maps, both these teams have best maps of Train, Overpass, Mirage. So
Okay.
the fact that ENCE banned Overpass is just like them respecting Navi's Overpass.
Okay, makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
then. So this map pool, it's not like yesterday where you're telling me, or Jacob was telling me, that Renegades had lost this game in the Vita.
Oh,
we're
that
not,
was
we're not,
crazy.
we're not in that circumstance again.
No, I think that Na'Vi have gone for Dust 2 as a punish, but Na'Vi's Dust 2 has also looked flaky, right? It hasn't looked great. And I think some of the things they used to do was hedge over towards that B bomb site. And we know, on the other side of things, ENCE also have had a weak bomb site. Both teams seem to be struggling on that side of the map. So maybe Na'Vi have identified something they can take advantage of here.
Yeah.
I will say that on Dust 2, at this event, Navi has done a much better job of moving Simple around on CT side. I've seen him up Catwalk B, whereas in past events, I only saw him, up B.
Yeah.
They had him literally just chained to the B bomb site, whereas now he has so much more freedom.
No, I couldn't agree more. And in terms of players to watch, you've already highlighted X7. I think the conversation is surrounding whether or not this Zeus impact frags continue from Na'Vi, because he has been instrumental. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he continues to buy UMPs and push apps and get double kills versus some of the world's greatest.
Yeah, so I think that Zeus as a player in this tournament, I've been watching his play and how it actually elevates the other players around him and how they, bolster his part of the map so he can actually receive less pressure, Alex. So that's a good storyline to follow for this one.
It is, and we'll continue to talk about it, but first, it is time to get that Spodek stage once again alight, the crowd alive. Oh my goodness, quite the turnout for the semi-finals. And we can't get a semi-final started without players. Let them meet the crowd, and you guys can meet them too. It's time to get our semi-final day started here in the Spodek.
That feeling inside a competitor when you find your boundaries, and in order to be better than somebody else, you have to cross to the other side and find the better version of you. This is a feeling that is probably the best feeling in the world. This is a feeling that nobody can give you. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. You have to be stubborn. You have to persevere. And you have to make sacrifices. All the players here, they committed their entire lives to be here this week and be the best version of themselves this week. When you watch them compete, please remember all the possible sacrifices that they made.
Great shot from Alu, the fourth as well, looking for the ace! Alu delivers in round number 15.
Now it's on to Electronics, going to isolate! Oh, himself! He reads it! He reads it! And an arc! A power surge right through two!
So if you just felt a disturbance in the force, that is because it is semi-final day here in the Spodek. Are we ready? Oh man, have I got the feels for this today. A major. Every year we come here, our annual pilgrimage to Katowice, to this fabulous location. And today we have 4 teams here on semi-final day ready to tear each other apart. It is gonna be great. And as I look around here, these are the lucky people, the people who managed to get in, because it's standing room only. So wherever you're watching this, it is going to be someday a double A side of matches. And that's a reference you're not going to get if you're born after 1992. This afternoon, our second semi-final, MIBR. Anyone a fan? Taking on Astralis. And you can say that they are two of the greatest all-time CS rosters, but we have a semi-final first, and two teams who want to prove that they are good enough to take home that trophy and the lion's share of $1 million. So let's introduce them. First to come out here in the Spodek, it's Na'Vi. Just look at them, a team of absolute Central European monsters, Flamey, ready to get his hands on that pistol. But they are taking a team on that have just achieved more than anyone thought was possible. They're here to make it further than anybody thought they could. Please welcome to the stage, it's ENCE! Are Na'Vi about to get finished? It's time to find out. A best of three in the Spodek. Who's winning this? Is it Na'Vi? Is it ENCE? One more time. Is it Na'Vi? Is it ENCE? Let's get it on!
They say there's two things to count on with Na'Vi, simple fragging and the crowd in Katowice favoring them. Not today, though. My goodness.
Look, Alex, I love an underdog story as much as the next guy, but I also enjoy breaking hearts. And unfortunately for all those fans out there, Na'Vi are going to come out hot in this one. I've got a feeling that these boys are going to get straight to this final and make it look easy, because Train coming up, sure, this is where it started for ENCE. They were 7-0 down against Big, and from there, they're able to win that map, and that's where they started that 8-map streak to get to this point.
100% win rate on 2 of the maps in this best of 3 in this tournament.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like a scary statistic.
That's something.
I mean, Na'Vi is going to start CT side on Train right now. That's a tough spot for a young team like ENCE to go up against them on T side. Dust too, I kind of favor ENCE, I'm being honest.
Oh, we could see 3. I hope to see that Mirage, that's for certain. Something worth talking about is that every major has some story similar to that event, at least to some degree. We've had our Gambit run, Immortals have done it, Cloud9 in Boston. There is always a blip on the radar that no one saw coming and reaching that peak at just the right moment. ENCE seem to be in a different category. Yeah. This has been grit, determination, hard work, and slowly but surely climbing that Counter-Strike ladder. And right now they find themselves not far from the top, the trophy in the center of the stage, and Na'Vi standing between them and the grand final.
The fundamentals have gotten them this far, but this is where the game changes. They proved against Liquid that they could do it on the big stage, but Na'Vi have been here many times before. This is like home for them. At this point, they're not worried about the stage, they're not worried about the crowd. That doesn't actually affect them. Whereas ENCE, they've done it once, but can they do it again? Can they be pressured? Can they be pushed to the limit and still bounce back? Because this is a completely different battle.
It's going to have to be strong individual plays, and if you catch them and want to see them again, do submit them. The Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel Power Play, you can use the hashtag Game Fuel Power Play to submit exactly which ones you think are the very best plays, or maybe break them down at the analyst desk later on. My God, I'm excited. Train first, but that's the T-side events that you just are a little worried about, Sean.
I am. I mean, Alo has had a lot of success coming out of Team Main, though. I think, personally, they're probably going to try to attack Zeus at the inner bomb site. People have been doing it all, like, repeatedly throughout this tournament so far, trying to attack Zeus, and they haven't been successful at all.
That's one of the big two battles that I'm looking at. On the T side, when you look at this ENCE team, they have a bailout play, or they have an information play where they get Alexi out into the mid, he gets out into the Olaf position, and from there he grabs map information and makes a call, makes a play, makes a read. So that's one of the battles that Na'Vi have to be able to stop, and then you're right, towards that inside bomb site is where ENCE's attention should be. If they can take down Zeus, if they can stop Simple, helping him in that part of the map, they can really run away with this.
Na'Vi are counting on Simple, right? I mean, we can't have another Simple bottom of the scoreboard showing against a team that's hitting their peak.
He is such a strong CT side trained player. I mean, you'll see him play Ivy from the E-box area, really crazy off angles where he can swivel around and play 3 spots at once. So I expect this to be vintage Simple right here.
Vintage Simple up against the new brand of Finnish Counter-Strike. Our first map train, Dust 2 lies in the wings, as does Mirage, should we see 3. A semi-final, a Cinderella story, unlike anything we've witnessed in Katowice. ENCE Esports, will they continue their run? Yes, a Cinderella story, but the clock strikes midnight versus Na'Vi. Map 1, it's time for semi-final 1. Henry, Matt, this should be a spicy endeavor.
We absolutely hope so, Alex. ENCE versus Na'Vi. It's semi-finals time. Katowice, I hope you're with us. Give me everything you've got. Let's make some noise as ENCE will defend now. It's up to the T side with the smokes. The flashbangs available to them. It's a very slow start here. Normally, in these big plays, we'll see an execution come through quickly, but there it is. There's smokes dropped from the bomb site now.
Conceal of the smoke, Edward gets back in. ENCE showed excellent team play against Liquid. That'll work against Na'Vi. Slow may be the name of the game for both teams on their T sides. Wrapping in Aerial. He'll get Electronic down, turns around, looks to hold bomb, but Edward was there the whole time. We saw him work out from Zed Connector, and it's he and Simple against one man who's been absolutely incredible throughout the course of this event, but he's got it all to do now. Has the bomb at least for 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock. Alexi's gonna fall off.
He's got the bomb, but 24 HP at this point. Just getting that bomb planted would be a success. Edward trying to hunt for some information here as he pushes towards Ivy. You can see inside currently open. Simple was in the connector, however. He'll be watching that lower ramp. 55 seconds remain, and Alexi just waiting for any CTs pushing, hoping he can get an advantage through some patience here.
They're playing it perfectly on the Na'Vi side, of course, to be able to rotate either direction. Bomb dropping from upper, 24 HP. If he even gets tagged by Simple, it'd be a crater. Requires Simple spotting him, however, because he's gone back towards CT instead, looking for further information, and Alexi gets in. And planted. Money at least for ENCE. It's not impossible. I think he might be able to slide by, but Edward was ready for it. They didn't see him on the right, anyway he was on the left.
So ENCE waiting for that initial utility, went for the outside execution. Their trades were looking good, but then Na'Vi finding multiple frags. Edward, just to know, he got an ace in that one. 5 kills for Edward, so maybe he'll be going to go back-to-back into the next half. Who knows? It was Flamey that managed to light up the scoreboard before. Fantastic work by him. And in that 2 versus 1, you're right, they played it perfectly. Yes, they let the bomb go down, but they stayed in the connector. They were next to each other. Any sort of threat was going to be eliminated if they worked in this sort of manner. Great stuff from Edward. It's going to light the fire beneath him as we get into round number 2. I don't expect ENCE to force buy in this second round. They'll bring out a decent, solid buy in the third. Just a P250, a couple of those purchased here. And it's up to ENCE now to try and get that bomb planted again. They're stabbing each other in spawn. You don't like to see that, but it doesn't really matter in this sort of round, I suppose.
You still don't like to see it at all. Only down to 64 already. Zeus waits bottom ramp inside. They'll try and rush to get another bomb plant in place. Get that money rolling early. SMG likewise for Zeus. He can build up a bit of a bank. Simple. Keen as always, you could say. Already on the AWP.
You can see they got 1 flashbang here, so got to go for that inside play. Simple with the AWP in round number 2. You do love that.
He spots them though, but he can't get the angle. He was late to get on top of the tanker. They were already around the corner when he got to the spool, and Zeus, he's down for 1. Bomb plant looks inevitable at this point. Simple, he's forced to go off to a pistol. This is where it becomes a problem. If you buy the op early and pistols overwhelm you, if they outrun you, it's an expensive gun to lose. And Alexi's gotten in behind them. This could actually steal back the round. I say it, but he's already lost Sergey. That was what he needed. Sergey had to be holding off the bomb because now they can actually just send 1 to keep him busy, and they'll go back toward the defuse.
2 kills and a bomb plant. That's not bad. They're going to have a ton of money here, and you're absolutely right. Bringing that all down the second round I assume it was dropped by Edward, is obviously going to be a risk, but they managed to recover. 3 players survive, and they'll be well equipped for the next round as well. But so will ENCE. Alu's certainly going to buy the AWP here, no doubt about that. $6,000. He'll be dropped it, however, so it's going to be Sergey giving him the sniper. And this is the first real gun round here. I guess Na'Vi, with a couple of compromises, Edwards will have an AUG for now, but Zeus with the MP9, it's Flame with the FAMAS as they juggle weapons around. Simple, of course, still has his AWP. And we'll see what kind of spawn he had. He actually has the upper ramp spawn here, so he can get control of that position. That might be on the cards, but the thing is, Alu's heading there as well. We're going to have a sniper battle here to kick things off. Zeus sends in the flashbang. Alu is completely wrecked by it, and down goes the first. Simple gets the opening frag and falls back.
Alu still has the op to contend with, but Simple knows the situation. He's already gone back. He'll rotate off of this. Brilliant start. Flashbang, you're right, absolutely wrecked them.
Yep, they didn't see that coming. Alu wants to go with the fast pick at lower ramp, which is a very viable approach, but when the AWP swords up, it can all go horribly wrong, as it is for X7 as well. Towards that Ivy position, he takes a nade and a few bullets, down to 22 HP.
Hold off again outside. A main. Edward needs to be very careful at this point, though, because Electronics watching Pop Dog, but does he know that Sergey's already out? And holding in the corner aggressively, Gun Barrel certainly could be caught off. All he needs is one misstep. Tough position for Edward to work from as well. If he's spotted and they're not completely side by side, they'll be able to trade it, they'll be able to swing on the second. So he backs off to Sandwich, probably the better call in this situation. X7, meanwhile, still out toward Ivy with Flamey guarding the entrance.
They're going to have to commit to outside at this point. 30 seconds remaining. A couple of smokes, some flashbangs as well. X7 low, Edward in a prime position.
He is. And this is better because, again, Sandwich, he can control the angle, bomb down, he backs off further to give him a more linear perspective. But again, he has to watch for X7. They don't know that he's there. He came in late. Edward down. Unfortunately, it's just he and Alu because it looks like they'd opened up some room inside of the site. Alu can't hit the shot, and he wants to save the AWP at this point in time. Just get away. 9 seconds. He will. But they're pursuing, and Zeus is smart to go all the way out. Ivy wants to catch him going into spawn. He's low HP. Down goes the AWP.
Big frag there from Zeus, and a lovely round from Na'Vi in general. It's Edward who managed to get that all-important kill. They had the 5 versus 4 early on in the round due to the AWP push in the upper ramp. And then ENCE, very patient, waiting for the opportunity to bleed out some of that utility. Not so much an execution outside, but a pincer from the Ivy, main entrance, and Pop Dog, unable to find the kills. And it's going to be Na'Vi keeping 4 players alive. ENCE, with the loss bonus, though, do have enough to buy up in round number 4. They have 4 AK-47s and Sergey on the Deagle. Now, these sort of rounds, you're going to want to deploy as many smokes as you can and allow these AKs to get deep towards the bomb site. It's the only way you're going to cause a dent. As they get ready, it's 3 players towards the main entrance, and Edward segregates the Pop Dog area.
Side of the train, Aerial positions himself so the feet don't reveal and tries to catch off Simple, perhaps. Could he? They're both inside the smoke, and Simple doesn't realize it. He has no idea that they're so close. Looks down, he'll see them, only for 1. 2 in that position, and Alexi knows he's got to act quickly, but rather than getting too aggressive, he falls off for the angle and waits for his teammates to gather the wings because Flamey comes back inside. Sergey's Deagle. He's going to rely on it at this point. Single smoke down, they've already got 2 back through inside of the site directly. Zeus can afford to hold off on this because Electronic just sits in the corner. Alu, reactions of a hockey, snaps back, and he's now got Flamey. Edward has to hold off with the AUG. Steps out from Old Bomb, but X7's still on the other side, and it's Edward, the man who aced in the opening round, that has to hold off 2 remaining attackers with 52 seconds. There's a shadow of doubt on this as well because the bomb can easily be picked up, gathered, and moved back. It's still at A main.
It still is. They've got plenty of time here, 40 seconds, and Edward trying to find himself some sort of an advantage. Gets towards the back, tracks it. Now this could be a play. X7 aware of the threat, checking it every now and then, but has he got into safety? Absolutely has. Good flash. As they challenge his position, they're going to flush him out, and now Edward with a huge disadvantage here. The bomb going to be recovered with 25 seconds remaining.
I still want to go to the outside site because X7 was holding it. Sat there, you're right, 1 HP, he finds Edward, and ENCE get on the board. 2 players surviving.
4 AKs, 1 Deagle. Fast approach outside. Pretty scrappy, but they make it work, and they recover the AWP as well. It's going to be 3-1, still in favor of Na'Vi, as ENCE pick up their first. Need to avoid that reset, though. There is cash available for Na'Vi, but it's being drained. UMPs are coming out, and there might be a double AWP situation. I'll have a look. Yes, indeed, there is. Simple manages to get the secondary AWP to Flamey. He's got a glass cannon right now, and he's going towards that lower ramp. This is the shotgun-style AWP play. We'll see if he can nail it.
He sits back on it. He doesn't go all the way up and try to take the fight. No flash in this time either. He's alone on the B site. He's downed. Sergey got across. It was the exact second Simple backed away, and that's going to open them up. Full access. Edward's on the flank, however, early. X7 could catch him off, but Edward knows he's got a chance now. Alu's not even looking. He's got one already behind, and he'll just hold it off. He's waiting for further action, waiting for more people to arrive. Bomb's not yet planted. They go as far away from Edward as possible in doing so. He's trapped in, though, and X7 takes him down. Flamey's already gone.
They're off the mark now. It's a huge ramp for ENCE to pick up. Simple towards that lower ramp. Not looking his usual self. You'd expect him to hit one there, but it's Sergey that took him down early on. And if you catch an AWP in that position, you can almost guarantee that's your cue to get in. If the AWP has gone down, there's not going to be one of the connector. Get in as quickly as you can. Get that bomb planted. And yes, Ed would have a lovely flank there, but he only had the UMP. He gets one kill, unable to upgrade. And X7 comes in with the backstab to close out the round. Flamey, like we said, glass cannon AWP here, holding towards Ivy. And they are going to at least look around for him. They won't be aware he has a secondary AWP just yet, I believe. As he holds up, it looks like he'll survive, so they have at least something in the next round. But I think they're going to have to take an eco here. They've got $2,000 per player. They'll get $2,400 into the next round, so that's enough if they can save the AWP again to have a decent buy. So it should be full eco around this AWP, but there's also an argument to be made that a force buy here could be worth it. We'll see which way they're inclined. Zeus already gone in for it, spending a lot of cash in the CZ and Kevlar. Electronic 2. It's Simple and Edward, a bit more conservative. They have a few smokes to work with, but leaving themselves about $1,000 left.
So they hop aggressive toward Ivy this time. Zeus will hold the bottom of the ramp. Just the pistols to work with. Not surprising to see Simple on a Deagle. No armor at all to go along with him, though. So even if he gets a kill and a gun in his hands, he's a punching bag. Down as well to hold off where the op exists at this point. Damage on to Alexei. It's not going to really do much. Does reveal that Edward is at least on the CZ. 2 in a row. It's crazy how fast things can swing in terms of economy. Sergey gets Edward. He not before finding a kill in first. It's now Electronic and Simple's above them. Straight above them. Bomb down. Looks for another. He's going to drop in. Sergey didn't realize it, but he gets the AK, and he's got all time in the world to find and line up the kill. Even firing it back to Flamey to make sure that they get it picked up in the next round. He didn't quite get there. But they'll have 2 AWPs.
They have 2 AWPs. I think that's going to be very worthwhile. There it is. Na'Vi go for not even the full investment there, a partial buy with the CZs. And you can see how deadly those can be in the right hands. It's Edward and Simple going to town here. Aggression at its finest. He recovers the AK-47 and closes it out towards Sergey there. Na'Vi strike back. And the tug of war continues here. 3 AKs, 1 MAC-10 and a UMP. Decent utility here. They can win this round, but what's the approach? Sending a few players towards the Pop Dog area and the main entrance. Sergey with the Molotov towards the upper ramp to block off any potential AWPers on the other side. Outside execution looking likely here. Aerial to lead the charge. His teammates set up the smokes and presumably the flashbangs after, and he'll try and find that first pick.
Shout Electronic Edward, he's still holding off. He hears them, he knows they're there. He's got one already, but this is where the trade comes in. They're staggered just enough, the Aerial snuck in behind, Electronic down. But Simple gets one and he'll fade off. Bomb to be planted. Sergey wants to hold off, knows that he was exactly out toward Ivy, but where's he gone? Alu. He could foil this, he could come in late. Simple's not aware. Problem is that he's gone so far around that it's gonna be a straight fight. Good news is, they've just cleared this angle, and I don't think they're gonna expect him there at all. Couldn't find the shot to control, and that gives Simple all the control that he needs. Double up on a retake, as it's down to Sergey. He still has bomb in his sights. Flashed off. Simple's watching it oh so closely, and both ops will. Flamey will find it instead, Na'Vi find 5.
Warming up to be a really fun game, this one. So much skill on the server right now. ENCE with a lovely execution there. Managed to trade out a couple of kills to get the bomb planted. Fall back, for those double AWPs are looking fierce. Simple and Flamey not missing many shots at all. It's round 8, and even the bomb planted, I think ENCE will have to take a partial buy here. Osbone is currently at the 2nd stage, and they'll get $2,900 per play into the next round on top of their 3Ks. They can definitely afford a Deagle, some smokes and stuff like that, but they might just take their full eco here. We'll see. Nice shots from Simple here, as we'll see his work with the AWP. That was quick. So indeed, just a few upgraded pistols, a couple of smokes, presumably smoke inside. See what you can do, get that bomb planted. Zeus to head towards the upper ramp, however. He's got the AUG. Scoped in, fires off, no damage done.
Simple rotates off early. Again, trying to continue to be unexpected and dynamic. Flamey's pretty static in comparison. He's had the op toward Ivy pretty much every single round. Good spot to hold from. Simple on the top of the Z connector finds the first. Bomb does cross. They can still try and get that down. I say it. Sergey, great shot back. Simple had just enough of an angle. Denied the second plant attempt, but the third one's a charm as Sergey still holds up aggressively. Knows well that AWP is on the other side and Simple's trying to get the angle on him. He wants Lovely to take it down. He would love to do exactly that, but Flamey rushes him. And Alexi, I'm afraid, is not long for this world. This Flamey gets far too close. 6-2. This is starting to get away, but it's such a close game, really, when you look at the battles and the fact that ENCE continue to get bombs down.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. The fact ENCE are hitting shots and they're actually getting consistent bomb plants here. Their strategies are good. It's just Na'Vi are looking really sharp in the individual form. As we get into round number 9, haven't really had a tactical timeout yet, but money's starting to look very strong indeed. ENCE, with that bomb plant down, get an extra $800 per player. So that's why so many teams with just pistols head towards inside, because you're not guaranteed a bomb plant. You've got a very good chance you can just get one kill, which they did. They got the plant down. It's Flamey finishing off things against Alexi. Bomb defused. Flamey currently sits at 6 kills, and very top is Edward, 11-5 after that pistol ace. Outside fast play once again, 3 players towards main entrance. Aerial has to wait for the Flames to go down first.
Flames down, smoke engulfing upon the site as well. Edward takes advantage of that, but he won't account for Sergey walking out late. That also, though, is traded back by Electronic. It's Aerial again, though. He's wanted to get forward so aggressively, so many times. I don't know where he is this time, but Alu takes advantage of that as well. Simple's gone. That's what they need, because Simple is firing on all cylinders so far on Train. In fact, he sits with 10 kills already. X7 has Electronic now. It starts to fall apart. Top of the site, holding only the CZ in his hands because the AWP, a bit too close for Flamey's comfort. Alu tries to get away, spotted by Zeus. No damage done. He wants to go back and get the bomb, though. If that's red, they can rotate off this.
Still plenty of time here. Zeus with 100 HP, Flamey on 9. They need to get a pick here. Aerial is low, but they have no real information as to where ENCE are right now.
X7 coming in late. Oh, Flamey spotted him. That could have won the round. The second shot could have done it all. They still now know that Alu's out toward A main. Bomb has to cross. And Zeus is playing this so passively. He just wants them to walk directly in front. Alu, he certainly has the advantage in terms of fire. They don't know where he is. Aerial doesn't even know. Alu's guessing, and he's wrong. 21 seconds, Zeus has bomb down. Aerial's now low on HP. It's another close round, but everything seems to slip away for HP. Oh, Zeus just needs one shot, and he gets it.
Really well played there from Zeus. He's had a good tournament. That's a solid 2 versus 1 as well. Didn't panic, strong position there. As soon as he kills the bomb carrier, that's when he knows in his great position. His teammates are telling him the last player's already tagged up. It was a huge round for them to pick, as that would have cost him a lot in terms of the finances. Instead, they continue their rampage here on the CT side. $4,000 on average for ENCE, maybe a little bit less for Aerial. He's got 2,900 right now. Might want to take the timeout, which they have. They're first. And we'll work out what they're going to do with this one. They've had a great start here. It might not look like it on the scoreboard, but they're getting bombs down. They're making rounds very close. It's just fallen apart the last few moments there. That will all set us up for the CTs. Here's the replay of Alu Shots, who's had a fantastic tournament, Matt. He has looked very good.
Zeus is absolutely playing with his brain today. He's very smart. They had no idea. Alu took a guess, took a shot at it. Zeus then knew that he was on the up and still there, could just play the angle perfectly. Risk to take the fight, but absolutely pays off. Real trying again to work towards Sandwich. Made in. Softens them up. Edward doesn't like to continue spraying. He might have been able to converge on that, but they've walked in from Ivy. He's not aware, overwhelmed. And now it's the AWP in the hands of the T's. Sergey's got it, and he shows it off with style. Simple. In a bit of a panic, he's going to try and run away. And he gets over toward B, bomb down. He just wants to save it at this point. Again, we talk about it. It might be 7-2, but these rounds, they're so close that there's no money for Na'Vi. ENCE are right back in this now.
They absolutely are. You can see ENCE have done their homework, and that's what executions are all about, is making the CTs feel uncomfortable, allowing you to get as close to the bomb site as you possibly can. With those pistols, absolutely perfect there. They get the first kill, then it snowballs out of control. They pick up the AWP, and Sergey ends up getting 3 frags. And now Simple is cowering in CT spawn, now giving his position away. I don't think he'll be surviving this. 1 bullet from any of these weapons will take him down. And there it is. ENCE indeed are right back in the game. With the reinvestment required, Na'Vi might just have to take the eco here. They can still buy.
4 kills for Sergey. They exploded onto the site for somehow the first time they've come in Ivy and not been watched. Flamey's been there so consistently. He gets removed. Slow reactions. Edward just can't recover because he already has a presence inside a sandwich. He's watching.
Oh, what a shot. Really great stuff there from Sergey. They don't look nervous at all. They look ready for this challenge. It's the T-sided train, remember. Very CT-biased map. So it is going to be the eco for Na'Vi. A few Deagles and CZs. Can they replicate the success of ENCE in the previous round? Edward might be flashed in here. She isn't a flash available, but there's headshots for ENCE. It's going to be Ariel to get the first, and he'll fall back safely.
It's a bit aggressive to go for more. Pre-scoped in on the AUG. This could be one of the first times you see someone slip above an AUG scope, but that's not going to happen because Edward already found Alu. That gave Ariel all he needed for information, and he gets both back in exchange. So they might lose one. Doesn't look like the round is in any doubt. Zeus could be up to something at this point. Sneaking in behind, I don't think there's enough time for him to go all the way around to T-spawn, down the stairs, and back in A main because they're already so well established inside of the site. Bomb's going to be long planted by then.
Well, they're making sure they don't take any risks here. There's the fake blind just to bait out any potential CZs. Zeus dropped by Sergey. It's Ariel with 3 kills, and now just Simple remains. He actually fully invested into this round. You see him down to $50. He didn't have much. He gets Deagle and Kevlar, and now might have to save that because the bomb's planted. 4 kills to find, and at the very best, he might better steal away an AUG or an AK, something like that. Sergey's low as he heads towards T-spawn.
Deagle armor to carry over. This has been an absolute brawl between the two, though. Every single round. Just to note for bomb plants, it's been 4 defuses, 1 detonation, and this one will be the same. Ooh. Nice shot by Simple, at least to keep himself alive, but they know he's in the corner. Not a huge issue to go down after the time on the CT side. You're not going to lose all your money, but still he does at least keep the armor up. Took damage, though, so he won't be able to get that free or discounted upgrade to the helmet.
No, but at least he has Deagle armor instead of nothing for this round. So it's actually quite valuable that he stays alive there. His teammates are going to buy. Edward with the AUG, Flamey, same story. Zeus with 5K. Does he want to drop the AWP and be left with just a Deagle? Maybe that's worth it in Simple's hands. They're going to take a timeout either way and discuss their options. This is a pivotal moment of the game. If ENCE can pick up this round, they might actually be able to win the half on the T side against Na'Vi. Other people are questioning whether they can perform on the big stage, and I'm sure everyone's satisfied they certainly can. Some great performances so far. Just to know the AWP will not be purchased by Zeus. He gets himself an AUG. Electronic on the M4 and Simple staying on his Deagle armor. He actually doesn't buy anything apart from 1 smoke and keeps himself on $2,000 to make sure he actually has cash going forward. Okay, brings out a bit of utility and the kit towards the end, so forget that. He has to spend most of his cash now, but is this going to be enough? Round 12. A chance for ENCE to really establish themselves here in the first half.
Simple the only one not with a purchased weapon. It's an aggressive stance from Na'Vi. Simple certainly capable on a Deagle. Bit harder than T-side, where if your entry fragger goes in with a gun, dies, you pick it up on the way by. It's not like a gun's immediately recoverable on CT in the same fashion. Early utility usage as well. Smoke already on A main. 3 more to work with, as well as an incendiary. Haven't seen B in quite a while, to be honest.
Only on their ecos, really. For now, this is just what we call the default. You're not necessarily committing towards inside, he's making sure the CTs won't be sure as to where you're actually committing when you finish up. So it's Sergey that pushes any CT presence back. Zeus alone inside for now. Flamey will join him from the connector, and Edwards. Great game for him so far. It's his 14th kill. Alexi will be a little bit frustrated it went down like that. It's a 5 versus 4. Much needed kill for Na'Vi there.
No one really watching Ivy this time either. You can see Simple looking back just to make sure that he wasn't going to be caught off. Still is. so forward. So the support for ENCE was certainly there over Liquid, but Navi's got a number of fans today. Simple, he waited off. Down he goes, couldn't do anything with the Deagle. Aerial's already got it on the AK. Electronic playing at the wall. Super wide, off angle, wants the E-Box to save him. Sprays in for only one, and Alu spots him fast enough, but is it? It is for X7, because now they're into a 2-on-2, 7 seconds left. Zeus manages to pull one back. Alu's got to hold the plant. He's in the smoke. He stays alive. AWP up close, but Zeus is far too quick.
I thought for a moment Alu was going to pull off a no-scope there, but it is Na'Vi picking up the round. Edward kicked things off towards that pop dog area. ENCE tried to commit. A barrage of frags coming through. It was back and forth, comes down to the 2 versus 1. Alu was lucky to get the plant in. Still had a chance to win the round. It had to be the no-scope, though. Didn't have time to pull it off. And Zeus with 2 kills. Edward will survive with him. They recover the AWP, but they haven't broken the finances of ENCE just yet. Great work from Zeus. That's some crazy moments so far. High impact kills here. Bomb down, calm as you like, recovers the orb, defuses the bomb. We get it to round number 13. It's 8-4 in favor of Na'Vi on their CT side here in the first map at the best of 3. Remember, it's Dust 2 next. This is the pick of ENCE. That's why they start on the T side here. For Mass for Electronic, AWP for Simple. The rest of the players on Orgs here, and a nice strong buy for ENCE, but their finances starting to run a little bit thin now. Aerial with the same smoke towards main entrance to allow him to progress towards Olof, but doesn't commit just yet, waiting for his teammates to join him.
Tag damage through the smoke, nade to go on top of it. Aerial's already forward, it won't hurt. It will the other way, and he's gonna follow it up as well. He finds Edward behind the train, he'll swing, he'll hold, they get behind, but Electronic reveals himself through smoke, comes back in. Aerial was never suspecting it, and he actually almost gets, he does. Oh, he caught himself up, he misstepped, and it nearly got him away from the bullets, but eventually he was found. Alexi now, with his first in the rounds, might have found the most important. Simple wants to work back in from Old Bomb. He'll play this with Zeus. Zeus in his 7th semifinal appearance. Of the previous 6 he was in, he was successful in 4. But Na'Vi fell victim in the final 3 times. The only one he won was with Gambit. He wants to get back there. He wants to make sure he's a winner with the team he's been a part of for so long. This one's not going to go their way. It is ENCE pulling back number 5, 8-5, in fact, so keeping a dead level on Train. Simple might even get found here. He might go down. Zeus wants to try and protect him. Smoke off. That's cut off 1. Still, though, through the smoke, they'll find both. They actually got them both down. No gun saved on the Na'Vi side.
Aerial's doing such a fantastic job with that AK-47. Overwhelming towards the outside bomb site. His defaults, the smokes, it's all set up so perfectly. As he makes his way through, pixel perfect precision. This is the replay now. Look at him go. It's his 2nd kill that impressed me the most. So confident in his own ability, leads to charge and finds success in round number 13. It is going to be the force buy from Na'Vi. You can see an auto shotgun for Simple. I don't think I've ever seen him use that weapon. He'll be joined by some CZs and Desert Eagles. And now it's up to Edward once again to try and crack things open towards Pop Dog. This time not going to happen.
Good find from Aerial again, but he couldn't follow it up. Electronic manages to just barely get away. Flashback out. I think he did the damage the first time by. Sprays through and finds Flamey as well. He is coming alive. Simple. Alu joked saying he wanted a knife kill and 3 auto shotgun kills today. Simple's trying to get one first. From that range, probably not going to happen.
Ambitious, but for now, let's say ENCE have done enough here. They might be able to bring this back to 8-7. That would be a fantastic result on their T side here. No chance for Na'Vi to win this, but can they recover anything in terms of weaponry? See them discussing their options here. Looking quite jovial about the situation. They have won the half here. They would have liked it to be a bit more convincing, but still, a solid Train team. Na'Vi have been celebrated this tournament, I think, for their tactical approach. It's not something we've been excited about from this squad for a while, to be honest, but they slowed things right down. They're playing more as a unit instead of having Simple Electronic running around trying to kill everyone, so it's refreshing to see this slower gameplay come back into their scrapbook. But Alu now looking to find the remaining players. They don't have to commit to these kills. They actually just risk giving rifles away if they go any further than this spot here. So that kill's fine. Doesn't matter too much. The CTs won't get a rifle from him, and they manage to trade it out and remove his armor. It's the final round of the first half here, 8-6, and clawing their way back into it. I'd say they deserve a few more. Their tactical approach has been wonderful, as they get double orbs here on the T side. They won't stay on that. They're just going to go for those opening picks and take the AKs with them. You can juggle weapons to certain choke points, like inside. They've got 3 orbs. So yes, they'll try and juggle those weapons around now and leave them around main entrance. But let's hold up. They know the money's low on the CT side. It's a good chance they push Ivy, push Pop Dog, and they'll go for these orb kills and throw them out of the map if they have to.
I thought Sergey was just going to go for the straight drop. Simple went so aggressively in toward Pop Dog. Probably waiting as well, as you say. You're absolutely right. They want to see if the CTs will push. Would have been unnecessary for Sergey to do the same as a result. Edwards swings around. He's actually going to rotate back toward Ivy a little bit further because Electronic has called that there's been no action through his smoke already, and they're going to stack somewhat the B site with 3 players there. Simple, as well as I mentioned, is down still at the bottom of Pop Dog. He'll be able to rotate quickly. But that all depends on whether or not they even go that way. He'll smoke himself off. Another Molotov behind him. There's really not much room left to hide. Ariel even considered running across the site to pinch him in, but thinks better of it. Goes back toward the bomb instead. They'll watch him. They'll keep eyes that direction from the trains. In fact, next 7 goes now. He swings around and Simple. Oh, he just gets away, but he's caught off at the top of the ladder. He's evasive, but it won't work out entirely as Edward caught off by Alu. Now the guns start to prevail, and they'll win another round. We're back to 8-7. 1 round between them, and it shows how close this game was.
Really enjoying this so far. ENCE looks solid as a rock. They're not nervous at all. They're ready to challenge Na'Vi in this second half. It's 8-7. We'll take a break. You're not going to want to miss this.
On my own, when you spill that rum and coke on my t-shirt, yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make
start proving that it was absolutely no fluke they took down Liquid as Na'Vi putting up an incredible half. Simple was firing. Edward started off with an ace. They only have a one-round lead. It's 8-7. They are every bit as in this game as any team would be against them.
And Dust 2 up next as well. ENCE are no slouches on their map. If they can somehow win this one, they could actually 2-0 Na'Vi here. What a crazy thought. I'm so impressed with their mental fortitude so far. They're showing a great array of strategies and good formation. As we see them switch over to the CT side now, it's Flamey. That could be first up on the chopping board as he'll be taken down here. Not quite.
Wow.
Somehow, he actually gets the frag there. What a strange turn of events.
Simple just barely caught them off working in. Alu gets Flamey back, but that's not enough yet to call it level because they can rotate back off. They've got the bomb. They can force the defense to be very uncomfortable and get them out of position, which Edward now will confirm they are. They're back over toward the outside site, and Zeus walks into a free plant. He's going to swing around behind them as well. He'll be spotted. Again, just has to slow them down, delay the retake. There is a kit for Alexi. Edward's doing everything he can at this point just to stay alive because here comes Electronic. He's around behind. Edward doesn't even need him. They've already won it. 2 and Z connector. There's nowhere for the CTs to go. And that kit fell. That was Alexi that they got. It's removed. It's far from the bomb. There's no chance that Sergey can do anything. Electronic takes down Alu. And it is 9-7.
That one started off a little bit strange. It looked like Flamey was absolutely done for. The coordinated push from the CTs towards main entrance looked like it would yield at least that first frag, but an awkward affair there. Seems like the CTs couldn't find that initial aim. It cost them a couple of frags to kick things off. Back towards inside Na'Vi go, and essentially they run away with the round. It looked like it could have been closer, but Na'Vi were very comfortable there. The positioning was good. The bomb was down. CTs didn't really have much access whatsoever. They will take the full eco here and allow Na'Vi to get double digits and buy up in the next round. You can see Alu with $3,000. He'll actually be able to afford the AWP going forward as well.
You want to talk about mental fortitude and nerves, by the way. The current frag leader, although tied now by Edward at 17, is Sergey.
Yeah. 16 years old.
I think he just turned 17.
17 years old, by the way.
Still ridiculous on Counter-Strike's biggest stage. Only his second best of 3 series, and he's leading the way.
Yeah, this is crazy. So many of these players in their rookie year. And in the semi-final, what could be the biggest CSGO event of all time. It's pretty remarkable, but here's Electronic getting it done. No doubt in my mind they win this, but how expensive would it be? They've got a Mac 10 so far, maybe an 8K, but Edward holds his own. That's his second frag of the round. And this is where things get quite interesting now. Remember, Alu can purchase the AWP. 10-7 down, so plenty of time to get back into it, but it all starts here. Round 18, Zeus will stay on the Mac 10, and that's perfect. You have such an advantage after winning the pistol, knowing the CTs are buying up on the third as well. Good likelihood that they won't have helmets here, so the Mac 10 actually a very powerful weapon here. And indeed, there's only one player in the form of Aerial that has the helmet, so that means that Mac 10 has so much damage potential if it gets close range. Ideally, you want to be dropping an execution here to staying as a 5-man unit and trying to overwhelm the CTs, get as close as possible.
Aim goes in, Flamey barely scratched by it, goes down to 85. For X7. A vocal tug of war inside of a Spodek. A bit the same inside of the server because everyone's jostling for position to miss the first gun round of the second half. And Aerial, he's got something to work with up close because Alexi's behind him, making sure that no one can catch him off guard.
CT's trying to get some map control here, but Sergey with the smoke out. As soon as he detects any threat on the other side, he'll deploy that. Feels safer now, and he would be right. They're falling back towards inside. Electronic has got the end of Ivy here. Flamey is here where there's so many players in front of him. Swallows the grenade down to 39 HP. The Molotov comes through. Aerial has to move.
Good read. Good anticipation that they wanted to be up close. Deep nade as well. X7, though, does get Electronic. So even forced out of the main position, which they've now reclaimed. Able to find a kill backwards, and X7's going to double it up.
5 versus 3 and 35 seconds remaining. This is pretty lackluster from Na'Vi. Overwhelmed at the main entrance, trying to come out one by one towards the Ivy position. It hasn't worked out for them whatsoever. 4 versus 2 is simple, pulls one back, but not for long. Now just Flamey. Nothing can be done here. Has to just hold on to the AK-47 and hope they get aggressive to steal away a couple of kills.
Yeah, a couple of kills at best, but 39 HP. Again, now time is the factor. We said on the CT side, it doesn't matter if you go down after it expires. It does without a bomb plant on the T side. At 2650, he's there about with everyone else, but he won't get anything on top of it if he dies after the round is gone. For his sake, thankfully, no one is in pursuit. And Alu on the op on the other side, still to deal with, though. And how can they possibly, with not much money to work with, there will be no op for Simple for Na'Vi.
Flamey with the AK. Na'Vi. Pretty underwhelming round, I have to say. Bullied out of main entrance, and then it seemed like the only solution was walking out of Ivy with no smokes down. One by one they went. I did just mention as well, you want to stay in a 5-man unit. They want to drop an execution and challenge the fact they won't have all the incendiaries. They don't have helmets and a few players. You want to really group up and punish that fact, but they made it way too easy. And capitalize upon it. As we go into round number 19, this is a timeout now. I can confirm Na'Vi are purchasing into this round. Flamey still at $2,600, regardless of the fact he got no money in the previous. Electronic, though, $1,600. He will buy it with the P250. I've got enough for 4 AKs here. Simple, the last player to buy into it. AK armor for him, 1 flashbang. Only had $3,900, so couldn't do that much with it. And going to defend main entrance again. This is going to go right down to the wire this game. I'm not sure who's going to win. ENCE on their feet now. AWP still out for Alu.
An attack. All over the back lines. With Sergey up close. Still on 17, wants to add to that. Just be wary of the attack from above. That's what Alu watches, and Sergey's actually gonna fall off it. We know that spool is extremely spammable. And they go. Flamey first. He'll spot the trajectory. Knew where he was, but still couldn't find it. And the trajectory leads to flames that burn Edward alive. He was tagged on the way through. Backed off already.
And that's the sort of round they should be doing in the previous. This time, 2 players commit, caught off by the smoke and then the flames. Sergey with 2 massive frags now. I'm not sure this is recoverable now on the T side. 5 on 3. They have 1 flashbang. No other utility whatsoever. And they're running out of time as well. Bomber's on their back, but I just have no idea what the next approach is. Just walk out of main entrance and hope for the best. Alu will be waiting for you. Currently sits towards inside, but I feel like that position's now clear. And like I said, they got 1 flash. Just got to walk out and hope for the best, and not even together. I think it's going to save at this stage. Positioning suggests that will be the case. I think they're going to let the round slip by. Oh, well, okay.
Just walking out.
Why has he done that?
No utility thrown.
They're saving, and he's walked out, popped dog, and committed. That's a nightmare.
Well, it's only 2 guns carried over. Simple's got 1 of them on the AK. No money to speak of otherwise for he and Zeus. That seems to be the case no matter what. ENCE back within 1 and now in control. That's something that's hard to do on the CT side.
Problem they've got now is Simple and Zeus getting no cash in that previous round. They currently sit on $0. Their teammates not much better off. If they eco this one, they still only get $2,400 per player in the next round. That's if they don't get the bomb down. So they might be tempted as to force into this one. Flamey, Zeus, and Simple now have AK, so they go in with another purchase. Electronic will keep his money at $2,000. Could have had an AK here, but he'd just shown more discipline. But a really desperate round now for Na'Vi. Again, no utility. A couple of flashes, but Simple alive and well with the AK. Maybe that's enough.
Maybe it's enough. Best player in the world. And like Zeus wanting to win with Na'Vi, he's still seeking his first major victory. He did play in a final, Simple, a couple times. He's been there with Team Liquid. He's obviously been there with Na'Vi. As recently as the last major in London. Keep that in mind as well. If Na'Vi are to survive ENCE, which at this point doesn't look certain at all, ENCE are absolutely showing off some form. And Astralis make it through, that's a rematch.
Right now, to me, ENCE are the better team here.
I mean, that's the key to it. They look like the better team. They certainly did against Liquid as well. 7, he's already been so promising in that position to look backwards, to be passive, to hold Ivy. He'll do it again. If they even step once, small fraction too far. A shoulder peek. He's ready with the off, but Simple. Oh, he's already in, and he's opened up the door because now they'll stomp it down. Flaming. He barges in from the front lines. But they are turning it around. Edward gets underneath of Alexi. Watch out for Alu because he is behind. Well planted. Nate would have got Simple if it went further, but it doesn't. It goes into Ivy instead, so Simple stays alive. Sergey. Here's the other aspect. Oh, good shot from Alu for ENCE. And Alu opening up the old bomb. Unfortunately, he's lost Sergey. It's still a 1-on-2. He switches over to the AK because he knows he's got to find multiple opponents. And he knows they're likely going to be trying to trade off of him, so an op won't work. He's got a kits. 2 flashes, and they've gone so far apart he can actually isolate. He's got it down. He's going to try and hold this as well. He's going to try and hold it all the way around. Oh, he got off it. He spots out Zeus, who just barely pulls it back.
I thought Alu had done enough there. One of the smartest players in the game. Did absolutely everything he could. It's such a difficult scenario. That bomb down, 2 versus 1. They could be absolutely anywhere. They came into that round saying maybe Simple could be enough. With a couple of flashbangs, he could open things up, and he certainly did that towards the Ivy position. A desperate round, but Na'Vi make it work. It's 11-9 now in their favor. They still have a lot of work to do here. They do have an AWP going to round number 21. Remember, ENCE lost both pistols here, and they're still looking like the better team, as we said, but the last round was down to pure skill, and Na'Vi have got that in buckets and spades. As they head towards Pop Dog, it looks like the totem drop could be coming in, but Zeus just investigating towards the brown halls for now.
Sergey again alone. I want to call B a safe bet, but with him in there, I'm betting it's not. He's been so proficient. And he backs off this time, gives them a little bit more room to breathe. But Alu brings over the AWP. So close last round, good nade. Anything at all will be significant, certainly when it hits Simple down to 68. Alu sits with only 11, but the impact in the last few rounds now that he's on the CT side, it's certainly been promising. This is a B hit all day long. And in it goes, execution. Utility will be the hand on ENCE's neck so they can't breathe, but Sergey tries to find an aim. What a shot from Flaming, and that's gonna give Edward access towards Z Connector. They already have to start considering rotating off of this. Down to just 2. 2 versus 4, make that 1.
Great work there. That's the kind of teamwork and execution you want to see at this level. Na'Vi start to look like their old selves again, and 4 players surviving here. It's Flamey that absolutely dismantles the B bomb site defense there, and X7 can do nothing about this. He's got a flashbang, no kits, and he cowers in T-spawn right now, hoping he can survive. Na'Vi have finally done it. They've broken down the finances of ENCE, which has been difficult throughout this entire train campaign. Simple gets the AWP on the T side there, just a note to the end. Really nice tactic. Great play from Zeus towards the end. His aim is getting very strong as this tournament develops. And as you can see, $2,000 on all 5 members of ENCE, and X7 will have the Orgs saved in the previous round. I'm not sure they'll force into this one, but time will tell. That second kill now is absolutely brutal.
It's so stunning the way he just walks in, Zeus. He seems determined as ever. Keep in mind that the only major he won was the last major in Poland.
Yes, in Krakow, that's right. It's been to so many finals with Na'Vi, 3 of them. They've never picked up the trophy. What's happened there? The damage comes through. It's Alu and Alexi that take most of it, out of 16 and 30 respectively, as they push towards the main entrance here. Flamey good for 1, and Simple needs to get the hell out of there. He's got the AWP. If he gives this up, there's a chance he gives up the round, but he is spot on as usual. Double kill comes from the AWP, and X7 with the save all, trying to keep the dream alive, but Simple, he makes it an absolute nightmare towards the end. 4 kills for him, and it's 13-9.
How good is that? You said it, and again, the pistols, they can overwhelm an AWP so quickly. They line up perfectly. That's the collateral, gets 4 kills overall. This one right here, boom. See ya. Through the body and the edge of the train, just to note.
Well, here we go. Na'Vi in touching distance now, closing this one out. ENCE can buy, but there's no AWP. Alu will be on the Org for now. There's no diffuse kits either. Flamey gets himself out of the main entrance towards the bomb train now. He's really feeling it. His AK has looked stunning, but X7, he's been celebrating this tournament as well. He'll get a nice opening headshot. Sergey will follow it up. 5 versus 3 as Na'Vi approach it with a much looser tactic this round.
Yeah, much looser, more pace to it as well. We have to talk about Na'Vi. Old school. He'll drain the clock straight down until there's only a few grains of sand left to fall.
The thing is as well, the money's low. They should be reading that. Instead of just running out like that, just drop the execution, make it uncomfortable for them. You're giving them a fighting chance with no smokes down, no flashes deployed. And this is another round where it's ENCE just running away with it, no problem at all. They've got great aim as well, and Alu, X7 and Sergey all finding solid kills. You can see no damage done on the CD side. That suggests you were all going in one by one and being shot by multiple targets. You're unable to communicate what was going on.
Yeah, Zeus is done here. Even if he turns left, he's got the knife out, gone. X7 takes him out of it, so building up. It's just one round against them. Building up money is going to be difficult. They've got enough saved over for a drop. Simple's got 8,700. Electronics already brought one out. Edward can as well, but they may find themselves very limited in ENCE on 11 if they don't win this round. Likewise, chance to reset the other way, but they've done all right. They still have 3K left for aerial, roughly just under that for X7. Alu this time, it's gonna hold from Z Connector. Haven't seen anyone go for the wall shot yet. Guardian's favorite maneuver.
He does enjoy it. Back to slow and methodical here from Na'Vi. Got their cage rattled at the previous round there, no damage done at all. You don't see that too often on a full gun round. Round 24 here though, 13-10, still in favor of Na'Vi. Remember that T side, it's difficult to close these rounds out. Aerial again, he's had way too much control of that main entrance in my opinion. The fact he can get in there and they can keep it smoked and run that timer down, that is a massive issue here for Na'Vi.
And it's 2 smokes, 2 incendiaries. That's all they've got to work with, and one of those already deployed toward the ramp at B.
Electronic's got the bomb, remember?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's
down.
A bit risky.
You're gonna walk down there, my friend. You better hit that shot. He's still doing it.
Yeah, he's got support there this time at least, so the intentions seem clear. Alexi's one out against Edward though. Zeus has gone chasing. Simple hits Sergey. That shot was extremely important based on the bomb's positioning, but now it gets planted. Ariel may find the lurking Zeus, but Alu, that would have potentially won them the round. Getting it down to a 4-on-2 on retake with Flamey still out of the picture, still trying to get back over. Simple! He'll chew them up and swallow them down as he finds 2. X7 gets him in the end, but isn't it enough? Still a 2-on-2, and Electronic on top of the site won't let them get anywhere near the C4.
It's Electronic now, who will control the situation. X7, no grenades, but he's got the aim. He goes for the AWP here, surprising. Now look at Flamey's setup. He has the Molotov and the HE here. He's essentially won the round already because of the fact it's gone way past the point of defusal, but he was ready. If there was a quick defuse coming in, you can Molotov on top of the bomb from that position, and there's nothing X7 could do about it. All he does though is recover the AWP. Flamey does as well from the lower ramp, just to note that. But it will be 14-10. Now, there is a chance to buy here. The fact they saved the AWP might persuade them to go for it. They probably would either way, considering they're 1 round away from that point. This is wonderful from Simple. But at this point now, with the AWP saved, they'll take a timeout and work out how they're going to approach this. I'm almost certain they buy into the round. They have 4,600 on X7. Alu already has the AWP. It'd be a rough buy. But the AWP up there, I think you have to go for it. You're not going to get... Well, it's unlikely you get 5 rounds in a row. To be fair, ENCE have had some remarkable comebacks. They were 15-8 down against Liquid and managed to get back into that. They are on the CT side of train, but for me, buying up here is the correct approach.
2 to go to claim map 1. Dust 2 is next. That will be open. That will be fun. Simple versus Alu, and Alu very comfortable on that map.
Yeah, famously. He's very good on that one.
You got the young gun and Sergey that's been quite remarkable in this map. He'll happily take duels next time around as well, and it really does come down to duels. It's aim battles a lot of the time on Dust. Alu got away from it. Caught Flamey on the cross. Excuse me, that came at Elsewhere, so that was actually utility damage toward A main. He missed the shot altogether on Electronic, who crossed over. Ariel is waiting. This is a perfect position. Flamey gone.
It's that main entrance again. It's a real problem for them. This time trying to establish a little bit more control, but still losing out on the first frag. Smoked off towards Ivy. It's Electronic trying to make his way towards the end. He's backed up by Zeus right now. ENCE, opening kill. No response at all, but Electronic is looking aggressive here as he looks to peek towards the bomb train.
We're looking a bit nervous. 7, he's going to get the first chance to strike, and he does. Strikes extremely well. Couldn't quite get his gun ready again for Zeus to get around the corner. That pulled Alu off the bomb. He wants to make sure they can't wrap around. He needs to control the map. He can funnel them back out front, where Ariel still waits, but he's on reverse side E-box holding A main. Again, that's where the first kill came in. They still have the advantage on this. He's the one to find it as well. Knowing that Alu's funneled them, though, he wants to be ready when they cross over. Molotov's down. Came from a distance. He's not yet worried about Edward's presence. Instead, he wants to deny the bomb. He will. 17 seconds. Now they can just hold off the site. Alexa, even with the MP9, just needs to get information on Edward walking in. And Simple, I think he's just going to walk away. 8 seconds, and he still has to get by 2 to keep the AWP alive. And they're getting actually away from him. They crawled and went away. They're going to spot him now, but I think he's gone. Don't repeat that. 0 seconds on the clock. He can't afford.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Nice work by him. Very calm to actually save the AWP. It gives them something here as we go to round number 26. But again, it's that main entrance where Ariel's just absolutely blowing them out of the water. He gets the opening kill. Flamey can't do anything about it. If they leave it open, the CTs enter that position and they lose map control. It's an absolute nightmare for them. This is a nice position from Ariel. Only one player challenging him, and you can see the time running down there. Zeus tries to crawl towards the side, but positional control from ENCE has been superb. Now Na'Vi are forcing into this round. They should have taken a timeout. They're still buying in T-spawn right now. It's down to Simple to try and open things up. He sits in the flames, but doesn't do too much damage, I guess. Still a lot. Could have been a lot more dangerous if HE's got into the mix as well. He'll be pushed off the pop dog position. He was trying to find that first pick. They have fully invested in this round, and they're really hoping he would be able to find something at the beginning of the round.
Limited so significantly. Just as in the first half, ENCE are so close. Score might have 3 rounds between them, but every round they're losing, they're still in contention.
Here we go again.
And back into A main. Knows he's there. He made a lot of noise, Ariel, getting in that position. You want to talk about contention? This has been the point of it as well. You pointed it out last round that they lost toward A main.
Ariel still has a smoke, so he's going to drop that at the last possible moment. Yeah, about now is good. You've got 45 seconds remaining. They can't really think about going for the main entrance anymore. That's 18 seconds. They can't really do anything about this. They got to hold up, wait for it to go down. When they do commit, the CTs can be positioned perfectly. You've got X7. You don't see this boost too often, actually, towards Ivy. It's going to be a very powerful one. What a great time to throw this into the mix.
Ariel holds.
Same thing.
They're going to re-peek it. They feel relieved to let repetition save them. Same angle, and it works this time for Flamey. Alexi's tagged up. Edward's going to run him over. X7. He doesn't have any smoke in his way, nor to Alu. But they do have to still find the kills. The first, successful. Second, followed by Sergey. But it's a 2-on-1. 8 seconds. Alu's on top of the bomb. He can deny. He will. And time the enemy. The pendulum pass to a guillotine mass. As Alu finds 2. And it's ENCE on 12.
Alu didn't even have to peek that one. 2 versus 1. He denies the plant and then goes to the kill regardless. Great stuff by him. Cool as you like as well. That's when he wins the round. 4 seconds remaining. He was fine just to stay alive there. Still goes through it, takes Simple down. Took a bit of a risk there. If he'd have dropped it there, it could have been an absolute disaster. But now, ENCE really have a chance to steal this victory away. They've got Na'Vi down to just pistols, no armor. And the flashbang is all they have. We talked about this in the first half. Presumably head towards inside as Simple. Oh, what the hell?
God!
All right then, fully blind.
Even the bright is too sly to hold back all Simple's dart. Fully blind, and he hits that with a deagle. Alu holding off. It's going to be Sergey down below again. They just want to overrun and try and push him off to get a bomb plant down because they're going to need money. It's going to be a 1-round game. They're not going to have much in a lineup, Sergey. On adjacent points of Earth, he'll make Zeus and Electronic rest together under the dirt. Defuse, but let them collect everything first. It's one. It's one between them.
Well, the bomb will be defused now. That was the full eco, but what a shot from Simple. They only get one frag, but it was enough to pull a rotation away from that inside side and yield a plant, so I guess that's absolutely fine. CT's now grabbing everything they can, all the P250s, any potential flashbangs or smokes on the floor here. Sergey, great job. He couldn't deny the plant, but he certainly made up for it in terms of the kills and keeping the round clean. They've got a few rounds to play with at this point. They've got plenty of cash going forward, and you could not say that about Na'Vi here. It's round 28. One more round from ENCE will tie things up. They throw away their UMPs, so they fully upgrade. So they had lots of money, but they had SMGs. And they're thinking, okay, we're not playing for cash anymore. Throw those away, treat us like a full gun round, and let's try and tie things up at 14-14. They can do that. The loss bonus will be at 4th stage. Na'Vi might not be able to buy next round with just $2,900 coming in. They'll take a timeout, discuss their options. Simple can afford the AWP, but he's only got 4,800. That means it'll be a glass cannon, meaning he has the sniper itself, but no utility, no armor. On the CT side, that's not a big build, but on the T side, you're so vulnerable to those HEs. We've seen how strong ENCE are in that department. First map of this best of 3. I wasn't sure if ENCE would be able to perform at this stage of the tournament. Na'Vi have been here time and time again. A lot of these players on the ENCE side, absolute rookies, came out of nowhere and has set the world on fire here at this major. Simple does go for the sniper rifle. Is it going to be enough? He's been trying to let himself off the leash in the last few rounds and carry them through to the round number 15. Hasn't worked out, though.
Ariel down below. This is it. This is the game. Opening map of a best of 3. ENCE continue to impress. You can't be understated. Even more so than Cloud, not sure. They came back down from 0-2. 7-0 down on the second map of a series. Cloud9 at least had some international experience, stage experience at that point. Remember, this is the first time 4 of these players have been on a stage of this caliber. They're going against giant killers, world beaters, Na'Vi, and they're holding their own. Alu is going to hold his own, or attempt to, on the AWP. He's fully emerged on top of the catwalk, meaning he's fully exposed, larger target to fire at, but he wants to catch them off.
It's the shots. It's Simple to go down. AWP potential removed as Alu continues to find kill after kill. He is shut down his approach towards B. They haven't got out the lower ramp just yet as Sergey continues to find the frags. It's going to go 14-14. Absolutely. It's just Flamey desperately trying to hold on to the sniper now.
Desperate indeed. 14-14. ENCE are in the driving seat. They're in control. Ariel takes away the last gun, and they have a chance to go map point. What's the call going to be from Na'Vi? They're sitting around 3 grand. Concede, play for overtime?
They had to get the bomb down there, Matt. It had to happen. They get $2,900 per player in this round, and ENCE are about to close. How does Alu hold his nerve here every single time? He never misses. Great movement. Hits those first 2 frags. There's nowhere near a bomb plant there. Na'Vi are pushed right back, and they're going to buy somewhat into this from what I can see. CZ's P250. Zeus goes for the UMP purchase, but things are getting desperate now. ENCE looking likely to post map point first. This was their pick. They started to look very good towards the end of the first half. Remember, they've lost both pistols there, and Na'Vi converted those as well.
Spam through just to be sure. Oh, it's gonna work this time.
Wow.
Edward walked straight back into it.
That's huge.
That dink's quite audible. I think I think Ariel's probably close enough to hear that as well, so either way, it is huge. Brave man to go back and stand in a similar position.
Absolutely. Ariel went towards the pop dog again, gets the first kill. There's another player behind him though. Will they have the awareness to take him down? It's Edward though, didn't have the AK of course, picks up the UMP, and he'll fall out. He's low, he couldn't commit to that.
Lexi still holding at Sandwich. X7 will catch them on the cross. They tried to wrap around to CT. They wanted to overwhelm, they wanted to flank. Simple's the only one left. Hey, he has the ball, and that's the round. There's no chance Edward to his dink that comes back into this with a UMP. It's gonna be map point for ENCE.
No bomb available. Edwards. He'll actually get more money than what he has right now in terms of kits, so might as well die at this stage. There it is. Map point for ENCE. Who would have thought in the semi-final they'd be posting up first against Na'Vi? Unbelievable scenes here. Can they do it in round 30 though? Na'Vi looking to take us to overtime. They did not force by the previous round. They have a decent buy here. They will have the AKs out in full force. I don't think they'll have the AWP though. They'll take their final timeout. ENCE, have they got anything clever up their sleeve to close this one out? They've had great setups on the CT side. They've been bullying that main entrance. Alu's been an absolute star of the AWP, but it's the young guns that really have stepped up. 26 kills for Sergey, 22 for X7, Aerial with 20. Everyone turning up when they had to. Remember, they lost both pistols here as well. Simple, top bracket for Na'Vi on 23. Edwards up there on 21. It's Electronic that hasn't shown up so far. 13 and 23 for him. He's one of the key points of this T side for Na'Vi, but he hasn't had a chance to really be let off the leash and show us what that aim can be made of as the timeout comes to an end. AK-47, basic utility. ENCE looking to finish things off before we get into overtime. They're going to have the double orb set up here.
5 rounds in a row to pull them back into lead. X7's got it started. Mentality has been so impressive for ENCE. Young team and came back against Liquid. Now against Na'Vi. Alu waits again. He can peek wide.
That was Edward by himself running inside. As you can see, it's all falling apart now. I thought at least they'd be going down lower ramp. Pete's panics there.
This is the impressive part. They tore Liquid apart mentally. They're doing it now to Na'Vi.
Yeah, that's not characteristic of this team. Why they're panicking like that? You've lost one pick. Why just offer another up on a silver platter? Alu's been consistently inside of that all. You don't even flash him, you just run out, and you're gonna get punished for that. 3 kills away from winning this map. They have to go inside. They're not even in a 3-man unit. That's gonna run in. And Sergey's, I thought, had that kill for sure, but Alu has.
Alu absolutely does. Zeus pulls it back, but it's a 4-on-2. Molotov down. Zeus is on 31. He has to be forced off. He has to go wide. He got to take the fight. Alu, he's got a third as well. And it's all onto Electronic. He's got a trick. But is it gonna work? Is the timing there?
Aerial seems to know, Matt. I don't think it will. Even if he dies here, it's going to give away his position. This is done. ENCE doing it. It's the final kill for Aerial. Can you believe it? ENCE in the semi-final of the Major have just taken the first map, D-Train against Na'Vi. Now we have Dust 2 coming up next, Matt. They are specialists on that particular map as well. They could 2-0 this.
They could. A swift defense as they absolutely shut down Na'Vi. No chance at all for them in the last 6 rounds. And it's the second time on this stage that they've, well, first off, ever been on this stage, but also come from behind to do it. So remarkable. Finland's got world-class talent. They're back.
They absolutely have. Really exciting game, that one. And it's just the tactical prowess there, especially on the CT side for ENCE. I love their control. I love their pressure. Everything was coming together, and no one seems phased at all. They look comfortable. We're going to throw it to a break. We'll be back with the desk.